Okay, we're back at the local again. Conditions very similar to last time I was here a few videos ago. Cicadas are singing. There's a storm building. I've got a few hours before dusk kicks in, and I'm hoping that the storm's going to fire up the fish but not hit me directly. I have to keep an eye on the weather. Really don't want to be down in here if the storm breaks and there's quite a lot of rain upstream. This will fill up quite rapidly, and as one of my subscribers and viewers noted, flash flooding is something to be very aware of in these small creek systems, so it's definitely something that I'll have in mind. But I'm hoping that I can pick up a few fish like I did last time. I've got a few new toys to play with. Thankfully I got a bit of spending money at Christmas time, and I've got a new rod and a few new lures to give a go, and hopefully I can christen some of them. I'll walk you through them a little bit later. Wish me luck. Okay, first cast of the session, also first cast with my new rod, which is a Samaki Zing 2. Got a little Sammy 65 loaded up there. It's a little bit stiffer in action than what my Wilson rod is, that is the same length. So it's always interesting to get used to some new equipment. Takes a bit of time to get your eye in, know how it casts in certain conditions with certain lures, and also how it works the lures, what sort of action you need to impart on it, how stiff the rod is. All of these things vary from rod to rod depending upon how it's made. Last trip out I didn't come across any bass in these little pools that are closest to where I launched from. I have caught them in these areas in the past, but with the changes in the pools you just don't know where they're going to be from one day to the next, and certainly not from 1 month or 1 year to the next. Though we still have had some recent rain and there is more on the way, the water is a little bit clearer than what it was last I was here, but still pretty murky compared to what it is normally. I must admit to being a little bit disheartened now. I've come across areas that I have recently caught fish in and had hits in. Conditions seem otherwise perfect, so I don't know if the fish aren't there or if they're just not hungry. Maybe I need to change my presentation, go to a cicada on surface, or maybe a little popper. There's so many variables. So tell me, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is there a fishier looking spot that you've seen me cast at today than this little area here? We've got an alley between two sunken or partially sunken trees. We've got overhanging foliage, subsurface structure, everything's there. It's not a bad cast, I've done better, but nothing. That is nasty, mean, and disappointing. There we go, there's the first hit of the day. He didn't feel the hook, so I'm hoping with a bit of a jiggle he might come back and have another crack. Will he follow it out, or is he going to go back to home? Doesn't look like he's followed it. So let's get another cast back in there and see. Oh, he's missed the hooks again. Nothing wrong with the hooks. He's just got a little bit of sight challenged. This is the little spot where the bass has just been hitting surface and missing. I'm going to try the little shallow diver. If I could get it to land in the water. There we go. Not sure if it's the same fish, but it's in the same general area. And this time he's gone to the hit the little subsurface lure. There we go. So it just goes to show that it pays to be persistent and also flexible. I love surface fishing, but sometimes the fish either aren't willing to commit to surface or they're just not finding the hooks, and sometimes subsurface can bring them undone. So there he is, only a little fella, but he took a liking to that Eco Gear CK, little black one. Oop. Nice easy hooks out, he did it all by himself. Those of you that aren't familiar with bass, they don't have any teeth to speak of. They've got some little sort of sharp sandpaper type feel on the top and bottom lip there, but no real teeth to speak of. So easy, very, very easy and safe to handle them by just a firm grip in the mouth with your thumb. And yeah, looks after you, looks after the fish. We'll say goodbye to him. See you, mate. On the board, subsurface. Okay, this little bank over here into that big cutback that's over there has been a spot that's yielded quite a few hits for me recently and over the years. So it's an area that I have hopes that I might be able to get a fish on. I'm going to start working from right to left. I don't want to cast straight into the pocket because there may well be multiple fish sitting here, and casting in varying degrees to the bank instead of just straight at it. Hopefully I won't disturb any fish that otherwise I would have cast straight over. Okay, so nothing on the fringes there, so let's go into the money shot. Yeah, probably not as deep in there as I would have liked it to have been, but there it is. There it is. Oh, it's good when a plan comes together. This is my first fish on the new rod if I can get it in. Oh, and it's a good fish for in here too. Very nice. You can see the bubbles on the surface here. That's where he came up and inhaled the lure. He really went hard. Good fight, yes, as well for a little creek bass. He's got a bit of weight to him and a bit of strength. So yeah, that's him on the Sammy 65. You can see the lure's actually already come out of his gob while he's been sitting there in the net. So I'll just get the lure itself out of the net so I'm not in any danger of hooking myself up. There we go. That is a lovely fish. really thick, quite thick through the flanks, really solid through the body. Not terribly long. He's only 32 fork length, but very strong. So there we go. Hopefully that means that the fish are turned on. That's 2 fish in a fairly short amount of time. Probably only about just over there where I caught that last fish, under there, a couple of minutes ago. You ready to go, mate? Yep. See ya. Good stuff. So when you look at this pool, now this is the area that I've just caught that fish out of. There's so many targets here to cast. The obvious one is this fallen timber, but you've also got grass-lined edges and a rocky drop-off, and over there you've got overhanging foliage. The best fish that I've caught in this pool has actually been off of that root ball over there, and then there's a submerged timber that runs along under it. So it definitely pays to think about where you're going to cast and try and cover as much of the structure in the pool as possible without fishing over the top of any targets that you haven't already fished. So I'm just going to start in this little pocket here and work my way around. Come on. Wasn't that an angry little fish? There it is. Get out of there. Get out of those sticks. Get out of those sticks. I thought you... Oh, he's too hard on him. Oh. I didn't want to let him get back into those sticks, and I've just pulled the hooks. Didn't open them, which is a good sign. Just pulled them. There he is. That's where he was hiding, in those sticks. Good to get the hit. Feel the weight of the fish. Not a pleasant feeling to lose it. Okay, as the sun starts to make its way down over the hills, I'm going to stay 2 lures with top surface this time. I'm going for one which is really noisy, the micro pompadour. Lots of rattle, lots of flash, hopefully create a bit of a disturbance. And on the other reel, on the other rod outfit, I've gone for something much more finesse, something that I haven't tried before, which are these little finesse frogs from Z-Man. So I'm going to give those a try, particularly along the grass edges, and as dark starts to descend and my casting accuracy will be somewhat decreased, it should matter less if it gets overshot the runway. So I'm not really sure. I think it's just basically a straight wind with these little finesse frogs, and let the little legs thump away behind. Yep, that's pretty much what it does. There we go. The finesse frogs. That's a first for me on this lure. Cool. Very cool indeed. Now, even though it's a weedless soft plastic, there was no need to strike. The fish itself hooked itself just on the hit, and as you can see, it did a good job. Whoop, steady on there, mate. Steady on. Steady on. There we go. That's the little finesse headlocks, or finesse chin locks, I think it's called. Yeah, finesse chin locks. And there's the little bass that took a liking to it. See you, mate. Off he goes. It's just a matter of re-rigging him and he's off and ready for another fish. There he is.